6 Man United players at risk in summer clear-out after Roy Keane blast. Manchester United's derby defeat on Sunday was met with the expected criticism from Roy Keane, with the former club captain saying 5 or 6 members of the squad should never play for the club again. It was a second loss to Manchester City this season, and Keane, who hit out at United's lack of intensity in their Old Trafford defeat against the same opponents in November, was left despairing after Kevin De Bruyne and Riyad Mahrez scored 2 apiece in a 4-1 victory for Pep Guardiola's side. There were some players there as we were watching it live, and I am looking at them, and I am getting really frustrated watching them, Keane said on Sky Sports. I can forgive mistakes, but you have got to run back. There are 5 or 6 players there who should never play for Manchester United again. United can expect to see a big change in the summer as Ralf Rangnick makes way for the next permanent manager, and there have been increased calls for an overhaul of the playing squad with Champions League qualification looking increasingly unlikely. Here, Mirror Football takes a look at the squad and picks out 6 men who could be on their way out before the start of the 2022-23 campaign, some of whom played at the Etihad Stadium and some of whom missed out. Who should Man United offload this summer? Have your say in the comments section. Cavani wasn't part of the squad on Sunday, but Rangnick suggested the Uruguayan's absence was down to a call made by the player himself. Edie trained well in the last 3 days, but, at the end, he didn't feel quite well enough to be able to play, the manager said, with the veteran having been out of action since early February. Cavani's second season at Old Trafford hasn't come close to his first, despite a couple of important performances, and it's hard to envisage a situation where the club convince him to stick around for a third year amid apparent interest from Europe and South America. Like Cavani, Pogba is out of contract in the summer. Unlike his colleague, the Frenchman started against City, but he was unable to stop Guardiola's side running riot. The 28-year-old has undoubtedly delivered some great performances, not least in a comeback derby victory in 2018, but these have become fewer and further between over the last year and a half. Plenty of clubs remain interested in Pogba, who could even end up joining Juventus for nothing for the second time in his career. An extension at Old Trafford still hasn't been ruled out, but it's a case of comparing his potential pay packet with what he offers on a regular basis, and there's every chance the numbers won't add up. It was Rashford who replaced Pogba midway through the second half at the Etihad, but the England international's omission from the starting side raised questions about his future. Rangnick opted to use Bruno Fernandes in a front 3, with Anthony Elanga and Jadon Sancho, meaning Rashford had to wait despite United being without Cavani and Cristiano Ronaldo. The academy talent obviously has an attachment to the club where he came through the ranks and is believed to still want to stay and win back his starting spot after a season plagued by injury and inconsistent form. Still, if the next permanent manager isn't the right fit, we could yet see the 24-year-old playing his football elsewhere come the summer. Like Rashford, Lingard established himself in the first team after coming through the United academy, but his role in the team has diminished over the last 3 seasons. The midfielder thrived on loan at West Ham United last season, and there was a sense that his parent club would never be prepared to sanction a repeat move, with the Hammers challenging them for a top 4 berth around the turn of the year. However, with his contract up in the summer, Lingard will surely have plenty of offers from clubs who can look at his time in East London as proof he doesn't need to take too long to get back up to speed. With just one Man United start in 2022, the chances of him being at Old Trafford this time next year are getting slimmer by the day. As popular as Mata is and has been with his colleagues, it's hard to see the Spaniard having much of a shelf life in Manchester beyond this season. Indeed, his decision to stick around this season surprised some, though his return of just 4 appearances this term has been less of a shock. At 33 years of age, he could still have something to offer in a different league, and a return to La Liga might provide the best route for the former Valencia man. Bailey, like Mata, has found himself on the fringes this season under both Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Ralf Rangnick. The Ivorian was back on the bench on Sunday with Rafael Varane ruled out through COVID, but is still not featured since returning from Africa Cup of Nations duty. It's not as if he's been missing out due to the impressive form of others, either. Harry Maguire came in for criticism once more in the derby, and Victor Lindelof hasn't convinced when deputising, so Bailey's 7 appearances in this United side suggest there's unlikely to be a long-term future for him at the club.